Hello, I'm Joanne Lana and I started the petition requesting Leicester Cathedral change the location of their prospective performances of Shakespeare's Richard III only feet from the real Richard's resting place. I want to explain here why I think it is wrong to perform the play in the place where Richard's remains were reinterred just over 2 years ago. Firstly, many might say that it is wrong to perform secular entertainments in a house of God anyway, but that is not why I object. I understand the cathedral needs to raise money somehow, and they don't charge an entry fee to visit the cathedral. Many say they can't see the problem, as it is only a play. It's fiction, and Richard doesn't care, he's been dead 500 years. But the play, whether fact or fiction, depicts Richard in the most negative light possible, as a wicked hunchbacked monster, a tyrant who murdered his way to the throne. Many Ricardians would like never to have it performed again, but that isn't going to happen. The play is too good, and everyone loves Shakespeare, right? The problem is, many also believe it is fact or largely fact-based. The truth is that Shakespeare was writing in Tudor times, and they had to vilify Richard to justify their tenuous claim to the crown. Shakespeare would have been risking his life to show Richard as anything other than the epitome of evil. History is always written by the victors. Plus, Shakespeare used a large helping of dramatic licence. Richard is shown murdering in battle when in reality he would have been only 2.5 years old, for example. The main accusation, that he murdered his nephews in the Tower, cannot be proved. In fact, there is no evidence they were murdered at all. They just disappeared. And yet it is always this that he is known for, when there was much good that he did, both as King and as Duke of Gloucester, which few know about, and which are documented fact. If Leicester wanted to do something radical, why not perform a play, of which there are several, which shows Richard in a more balanced light? Why not show his reputation for justice, courage and loyalty? His good laws, which helped the common people and encouraged education? His attempt to stamp out corruption of the juries? His introduction of a primitive form of legal aid for the poor? So firstly, the play should be moved because it is disrespectful and inappropriate to stage such an untrue character assassination where the subject himself is buried. Secondly, it is perpetuating the myths about him, so basically disseminating falsehood. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thirdly, it is in incredibly bad taste. Fourth, it is desecration of a war grave. Richard was killed in battle and his grave is recognised as a war grave. Leicester Cathedral pays respect to the dead in war every Remembrance Sunday, as do most churches. Where is the respect for this warrior who died bravely in battle defending his country? Fifth, the cathedral promised to treat Richard's remains with dignity and honour. They keep harping on about this, and yet they think this disgraceful performance complies with this promise. Sixth, they had the honour and financial gain of being entrusted with the keeping of his remains, but this includes responsibility, surely. They are reneging on that responsibility. 7, they have claimed that more people are in favour of this than against. Well, there were comments on their own page which were 10 to 1 against it. What did they do? They deleted the comments. So they are censoring genuine protests. Richard has had enough unfair tarnishing of his reputation. As men of God, those in charge of the cathedral should be all about forgiveness, shouldn't they? Even if Richard were the monster Shakespeare depicted, this travesty is disrespecting the dead. If you are a normal, decent human being, I'm sure you must agree this play should be moved. Putting on plays in the cathedral is justifiable. Putting on Shakespeare's Richard III elsewhere is justifiable. Putting it on in the cathedral, where the man is buried, is not. If you agree, please sign the petition asking for it to be moved to another venue. Thank you for your time.